Hey, Shalom. I like to start off by giving all praises, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh. Shalom. I like to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim preaching this word with truth and sincerity around the four corners. Like Elder Malcolm will be saying, risking their lives and freedom to do so, now more so than ever. You know, you gotta redeem the time because the days are evil. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners, Salaki, crossing the street. So shalom to the Israelite foreigners. You know, the Israelites that live amongst the heathen, that look like the heathen. You know, like Elder Malcolm would be saying, this is not a black thing. This is an Israelite thing. You know, so Israelites gonna come looking like all shades, colors, and different nations right about now. So shalom to the speckled bird. And shalom to the Akim. Peace and salutations to the Akim and the few Aqua, the true believers of the hopeful elect. Just coming back in the spirit and theme of prophecy. And I wanted to speak about the CDC. I got an article on them. Well, it came in on my Metro Zone feed, and then I typed it in Google, and I got an AI overview, and I believe an article. But come to find out, the CDC is terminating, I believe, 600 employees, or something like that. I believe it was 600 employees. So, you know, this just proves that Babylon is finished. You know, when the center of disease control can't keep their employees, you know that the economy is failing. You know, not to mention that so-called black women, I believe the number rose from 300,000 to 500,000. I'm not sure. I gotta do more research on it, but I believe now it's like 500,000 black females that lost their jobs within the year of 2025. So you know they out here struggling. But I'm gonna read the article, hit a couple of precepts, and Lord's willing, this will be edifying. I'm not gonna make this too long. This is gonna be a quick hit, straight to the point. Yeah, there you go. This is from the AI overview. It says, at least says that at least 600 CDC employees are getting final termination notices, union says. What's the sense in having a union when you get terminated anyway? You know, I thought that's what you would pay union dues for. So you just can't get fired like that. But you know, Esau in his wicked temporal evil, in this wicked temporal evil world, Esau rules, and he makes up the rules as he goes along. You know? He does that. He always moves back the goalposts. Once you hit a certain level, and you meet once you meet Esau's standards, Esau changes the standards and makes you meet a even higher and difficult feat. You know, he moves the goalposts as they go along. Just look what he did in history. It says, at least 600 employees at the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, are receiving permanent termination notices after a recent court ruling protected only some divisions from layoffs, as reported in NBC News. Yeah, so it's a wrap for them 600 employees. You know, this isn't going to be long. It's just blowing the trumpet on the CDC, seeing how they allowed the C-19, the Crown 19. They allowed that to go about, and how they manufacture diseases in their laboratories, and this is a known fact. All we gotta do is cover a little bit of research. I believe it's in Maryland. I'm not sure. I gotta do more research on that. But anyway. Yeah, first word pharma. Let's read a little bit of this. It says, and this is published August 22nd. So what's today? The 24th. So this is 2 days ago. This is published on Friday. 3 days ago. It's a lot. It's a lot. And today, Slovakia. Today's the 25th, not the 24th. So this is published 3 days ago. It says the American Federation of Government Employees, AFGE, which represents over 2,000 CDC members, said the process has been marked by a staggering lack of transparency from the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS. Says the cuts include about 100 staff in violence prevention, a move criticized by employees as devastating following a recent shooting at the CDC campus. Oh, so that's... Didn't know that. And then there's violence springing up everywhere. It says a federal judge in Rhode Island preserved jobs in certain CDC divisions such as reproductive health and sexually transmitted diseases, but other groups, including those tackling rape, child abuse, and teen dating violence, are being eliminated. Yeah, because they really don't care about the youth. They don't care about the FIFA. They don't care about the FIFA. They don't care about the children, and they don't care about the youth in general. You know, when all hell breaks loose, grape is going to be a normal thing. You know? It says retired CDC official Tom Simon warned that the loss of nationally and internationally recognized experts will be impossible to replace. This just shows that it's the sign of the times, you know? It's a wrap for America. We get two precepts that come to mind fresh out the gate. Got to get Isaiah chapter 19 verse 14, and it reads, "The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err, and every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit." Yeah, that perverse spirit is being mingled in the midst of Egypt, aka America. We call it Egypt because it's spiritually Egypt. You read about that in Revelation 11th chapter, 8th verse. In verse 15 it says, "Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do." You see? So there's going to come a point in time there's not going to be any jobs in America. They're going to shut down the workforce because really they want everybody to take that implantable device. You know, people have utilized their abilities for the so-called white man. You know? So it's a wrap. Let me get this last one. It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 8 and 9. It says, "Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed." You know? So and the balm that you would take is these monetary bailouts that the government is used to getting. You know? Bailing out these banks. But even that's coming to an end. Verse 9, it says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heavens, and is lifted up even to the skies." Yeah, you see? So, yeah, you see, so like it says, if the government could fix America, like Donald Trump's slogan, "Make America Great Again," if they could do that, they would. The thing is that they can't. There's a wrap for America, you know. There's no, how do you put it? There's no I'm at a loss for words. I'm having another brain fart. There's no financial healing that you can do to fix America. You know, the money is done, and what they want to do is they want to crash the American dollar, so they could bring in that digital currency. And with that digital currency, that's just one step closer to the MOTB, you know? So, you know, it's definitely going down. There's no doubt about that. No, let me get another precept that comes to mind. There's the book of Jeremiah chapter 28 verse 8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence." Yeah, and dealing with the CDC, that's pestilence in a nutshell. What they do is they create man-made diseases in the lab, and then they give them to the public, like that flesh-eating bacteria that's supposedly in Florida. Not supposedly, but that's in Florida. You know. or that animal eating bacteria, and where the deer and the rabbits are catching warts, and their flesh is being eaten off of their bodies. You see, I believe that those is man-made. Those man-made concoctions. You can't trust Esau. That's the point. He's a mad scientist. You see? Let me get this in the Apocrypha. This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50. And it reads, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." Yeah. A lot of great miseries. Losing your job is a great misery. But don't worry, it's going to get worse than that. Then, after the job, then and you have to look forward to the two famines that's coming: the physical famine of bread and water, and the spiritual famine of hearing the word. You see, there's a wrap. So basically, you can stick a fork in this bitch. She's done. America is over. I don't want to keep on beating the dead horse, so Lord's will, I come back with another video. And until then, until next time, I say shalom to the elect. You know, stay prayed up. Make sure you repent, fast, pray, read your scriptures, and follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Shalom.